Everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host, and I'm so happy to be here. It is the 5th of December, 2018, if you're listening live at 10 a.m. Pacific. And wow, 20 days till Christmas, yo. How do you feel about that? Maybe you don't care. I hope it's no big thing. But I'm kind of surprised it's sneaking up quick. I'm actually like 99% ready right now. Oh gosh, you know what? Hold on, I didn't silence my phone. There we go. Okay. At any rate. Yeah, it is. We're 20 days from Christmas. I always, at this point of the year, kind of get anxious for the holidays to be over. Not because I don't like them, but because I start kind of getting anxious for the first of the year. You know, that kind of new, clean energy, you know, I kind of started getting antsy for it. So I've already been feeling that a little bit. But more than that, I've been feeling the winter solstice creeping up. You guys, I've talked to you all about this so many times, but the winter solstice is such a special period of time where it's a very sleepy time. It's a very, you know, it's a great time for reflection. It's a great time to be able to give yourself more of an opportunity or more permission to rest. And I love the winter solstice. And so I'm getting excited for that too. And I kind of feel it creeping in maybe ways that I don't want right now. I have an epic project I'm wrapping up right now that you guys will learn about soon. But wow, somebody needs, I don't know what, some go-go juice. Because I'm already finding myself really wanting to do the winter solstice thing. Read and relax and hang out and not necessarily do the things that need to be done. So anyway, send a little motivation my way if you wouldn't mind. This is how creativity goes for me. Big waves, big ebbs. I hit an ebb at a bad time. It can't happen. So I'll be working myself through that today. But at any rate, we put our Christmas tree up yesterday. And kind of so interesting. We weren't sure what to do about a tree this year because of our mini pigs. It's their first Christmas at our house. Well, their first Christmas on Earth. And they are so inquisitive and so into everything that I really wasn't sure how to have a tree. And I wanted to have a tree. It's important to my kids. It's a tradition that they really hang on to, and so I could probably live without it if I had to, but for them, it's not cool. I also have been wondering what the hell we're going to do with presents besides just lock them in a bedroom that the piggies can't get to, because I know they'll chew on things and unwrap them. And so what we did is we put our tree up and we put a pen around it. So we put a hex pen, which is a dog pen for the outdoors, like when we go camping and stuff. So the tree's up. It is locked in in its own little pen, and there's enough room in there to stack some presents in there too. So hopefully we can keep everything safe from the pigs. They are really curious. They're spending a lot of time just hovering around, and they can push the pen a little bit to get close enough that they can nibble on the branches. So just the tips of the bottom branches they can get to. And it's not going to be long, and they're going to have every one of those sawed down because they're in there chewing and chewing. That's not the worst thing in the world. I just, there's going to be a lot of pine needles to clean up around here, but whatever. No big deal. Anyway, so we got our tree up, but that's what's happening. But one of my more cherished projects every year is to do luminaries. My mom did luminaries every year, and in fact, when I was a kid in our neighborhood, a lot of our neighbors did luminaries on Christmas Eve, and she would do them with the paper bags, and she'd use a hole punch and punch designs into the bags, and put a little sand in them, and put candles in them, and line our walkway all the way up to the front door. And there's various tradition around that. Some people believe that's to guide the baby Jesus. Some people believe that's to guide Santa Claus. Some people believe that's to invite the light back, because of course that is at the time of the winter solstice. I prefer to use that as a time to invite the light back, but I I've always done them, but I did something different last year that I liked so much that I did it again this year. Occasionally, apparently, there are perks to living in a place where the cold hurts your face, where the air hurts your face. And that is that I can make luminaries out of ice balls. So what we did is we took the big punching balloons that you'd give a kid to play with. They're big balloons. And I used a funnel and I put a packet of Kool-Aid in every one of them for the coloring, and then filled them in the sink in a giant bowl so that my daughter could just carry the whole thing. And they're huge, outside. And we lined our walkway on both sides with them. And it takes them a little while to freeze, even though we're sub-zero today. It was -5 first thing this morning. I think it's still sub-zero now. But even in that kind of weather, it'll take a few days for them to fully freeze. That's a lot of water. And when they do, the balloons just kind of shatter and fall off. And you peel the balloons away, and then you have these massive ice balls that kind of look like marbles lining the walkway. And then last year, I wrapped rope lights that are like the covered ones that are safe for outside around every one of them all the way down the walk so that the light would shine up through the ice balls. And oh my God, it was absolutely beautiful. So this year, I wanted to replicate that. And it was so cold last night that I knew this was my big opportunity. So Mars and I stayed up until well after 11, filling gigantic balloons and hauling them outside. And they look pretty amazing this morning, I have to say. Definitely not frozen completely, but I know because I bumped one and broke the balloon, and now I have a purple walkway. But it's okay. Anyhow, I love that. So I love it too because those are luminaries that I can keep probably until the end of January, the way things roll around here, and keep them lit up every night and just keep inviting the light back. So kind of fun. It's kind of fun this time of year, all the traditions. On Saturday, we're getting together. My sisters and I get together every year to have a cookie day and make cookies, that are important to our families, or try new ones and stuff like that. So we're having our cookie day, and then what we do, we make a ton of stuff. We'll make probably 10 different treats and make a double batch of each. And then we'll split those all up so that we have neighbor gifts, coworker gifts, friend gifts, treats to bring home, stuff like that. So it's a really fun way to spend a fun day together. We'll listen to Christmas music all day and drink a glass of wine here and there and eat lunch and just have fun and make a ton of snacks and treats. So I'm excited. So I'm curious to know what your favorite Christmas treat is, or holiday treat, I should say. So if you have a favorite holiday treat that you always make or that has to be around every year, please share. I'd love to hear it. We're actually going to talk today about receiving gifts. I know you guys, and I know that a lot of you really struggle with receiving gifts. I know that it's a weird thing. As a kid, when somebody asks you what you want for Christmas, you could probably rattle off 20 things pretty quick. Though you might be indecisive and not want to tell them the wrong thing because there was something else you wanted more. Maybe you needed to put some time into it to make sure you told them just the right thing. It's not hard to think of things you want, right? And as adults, it's harder. Why is it harder? A lot of reasons. Especially I think as empaths, it's harder because if you tell someone that you want something and they get it for you, you have to navigate through that energy and find a way to be okay with it and be gracious about it. And empaths really suck sometimes at receiving. So, and light workers in general. So we're going to talk about that today. So I have a challenge for you guys in the chat room. And I didn't even tell you where we are, so I guess I should. We are in the chat on Facebook. So if you head over to 12radio.com and click on chat, you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Christy's standing by and she'll gladly let you in the room. And you'll see my banner at the top of the page. It says you are listening live to the Katie Weaver Show. I'm seeing a lot of comments from you guys already. But I have a challenge for you guys in the chat. I want you to tell me 3 things that you want for Christmas. 3 things. And by God, it better not be world peace or something for somebody else. It's okay to want those things too, but I want to know what you want. What do you want? Get clear. Think about it. It can be something you need. You know, if you've got to have new snow boots and that's what you want to put on your list, that's fine. But think about it. What are 3 things you want for Christmas? Put them in the chat room. We are on one part manifesting, on one part speaking aloud, and on one part we're practicing saying out loud things that we want. Okay? All right. So there's your challenge. I better start seeing these pop up. I'm going to keep calling you guys out. I know. I'm asking you to do something hard. It's good. Hard is good sometimes, right? And I'll tell you some things that I want too. But before that, I would like to jump into Luminous Magazine. I've already put a link in the chat room. But if you want to go over there, you can head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the chat button. You'll be redirected right into the Facebook chat. I should have also mentioned, what am I talking about? I went back to the chat room. You know why? Because I realized that I never told you that I am streaming live. So I am streaming live over in the chat room. Good Lord, somebody needs to ground. I am streaming live in the chat room. So if you would like to watch this rather than listen to it, you can. You can also find the live stream as a video posted over on my YouTube channel later on at Domestic Mystic on YouTube. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's get grounded. If you would like to follow along with the magazine, you can head over to katie-weaver.com, click on the Katie's Magazine button, and there's the cover. You can click on that and it'll take you right into it. I really, really loved this edition. I've had so many nice notes from you guys about this one. There was just a really good energy about it. So, of course, there's always a note from me talking about how much fun I've had watching Christmas movies this year. I don't always get into Christmas movies. I don't know, the sappiness, the religious ones, stuff like that just doesn't really resonate. You know, the executive that's always working and has to work on Christmas Eve and doesn't care about Christmas or family and then has a crisis and has to care and suddenly has Christmas in their heart, you know, blah. But there are some really fun movies this year and I've had a ball with them. Me and Scott and the kids, we've all watched quite a few Christmas movies. I don't know, this year feels a little bit more sweet and sentimental to me somehow. So on Netflix, I highly recommend The Christmas Chronicles. Very fun. Okay, the magazine this week is called the Today is a Great Day edition. I stole it. I'll admit it. I stole it. I stole that line right from Melissa Caprio because that is what she is calling the postcard to the universe this week in the magazine. And I thought it was perfect because you know what? Today's probably a lot of things. It might be a stressful day. It might be a frustrating day. It might be a funny day. It might be a sleepy day. It might be a happy day. But you know what? It can always be a great day in some way. If attitude is everything, and I do believe it is, then any day can be a great day, right? That means any day can be a creative day. Any day can be what you want it to be. So, there we go. There's my pep talk to you and myself. Today is a great day. Okay. My memoir today was about my time as the director of Shop with a Cop. When I was in high school and in college, I worked at our local Kmart. I've talked about that before. And our Kmart started their own Shop with a Cop program. We didn't come up with it, of course. That was a program that's been around for a long time, but we wanted to have our own piece of it. So we fundraised for the whole year with the staff. So every Friday you could pay $1 and wear jeans. Once a month we had a potluck that you could bring a dish and then pay something like $5 in order to eat. And I'll tell you what, those people could cook and would really show up for that. We had all kinds of things like that. We had some community support as well. Kmart as a corporation donated some money and some product. And then by October, we had to start thinking about inviting children and scheduling dates. And McDonald's donated breakfast for all of the officers and the kids and the staff. It was always extremely generous of them. And we shared a parking lot with them, so it worked. But the first year of Shop with a Cop, we had no idea what to expect. We didn't know what it was going to look like. We didn't know if all the kids would come. We didn't know if we were going to have enough officers. Like, we didn't know, well, anything really. But we knew we really wanted to do this. So we had our kids invited. We had sheets that they were supposed to fill out with their parents so that their cop could help them to shop. The goal of Shop with a Cop is two-part. One is to help kids and police officers to build better relationships. The other, of course, is to help to provide Christmas for underserved families. And so it plays a large role in community involvement and in community building. So all of the kids were to be dropped off at Kmart at 6:30 in the morning. It was well below zero that day, like easily 15 below. It was really, really cold and windy and just, but they all came. And their parents put an awful lot of trust in us because they were to drop them off. There were no parents to stay, and they didn't. And suddenly we had 50 children on our hands, as well as an unbelievable turnout of officers. We had so many officers that came from our town, from the police, the sheriff's office, and from outlying communities, that we had way more officers than we did kids. I was blown away. We didn't really want to have to walk the kids from Kmart across the parking lot to McDonald's because they were freezing to death. And so the cops, just kind of in an impromptu, we hadn't planned this, bundled up all of these little kids in their cars. The ages, by the way, for Shop with a Cop were 5 to 11. 5 to 11, I think, was our age range. So that's about the age of kids we had. A lot of the kids we had were somewhere between 6 and 10, right in there. Anyway, so the police load all of these kids in their cars, which was a feat because some of the kids were terrified of the police. That was something I'd never seen before. I wasn't raised to be afraid of cops, right? But some of these kids, I mean, not just afraid, like running, screaming, terror. That was really sad and really telling. But we had some amazing men and women there who got down on their knees, who spoke to these children, who, did everything they could to help them to be okay. And eventually we got everybody on board. We loaded them all in police cruisers and sheriff's vehicles, and they took them all around the block on a big ride. Sirens blaring, letting kids run the lights, all of that kind of stuff. Huge perk. The boys were dying in heaven. And then we met at McDonald's and we had breakfast. And watching these officers, we had assigned a kid per officer, and watching these officers, opening little ketchup packets and putting, little butter and syrup on pancakes and cutting them up for these kids and helping them was so sweet. Then we went back to Kmart, and every kid got $50 to spend. So they each had a $50 gift card to spend on themselves and their families. Walking around the store, we had Santa Claus there as well, so that was another perk. But walking around the store, watching all of these officers in full gear with these little kids, helping them pick out, like in my article, I said sweaters for their moms or dollies for their sisters, or try and help them pick out, wrestling snow boots on their little feet and try and figure out what size they were supposed to be, or helping them find various toys and stuff was the sweetest, cutest thing. A problem came up that we didn't anticipate, and that was that some of the kids were not willing to spend any money on themselves. They wanted to make sure that they had gifts for everybody in their family, which was beautiful. But we wanted them to have something too. There's no way we were sending them home without a gift under the tree for them. That took some finagling. That took occasionally a very loving, kind officer buying something out of their pocket and having it wrapped and thrown into their bag at the last minute. But the generosity and sweetness of some of these little souls was enough to just make me weep. I shed more tears that morning on a very joyous day than I can tell you. Anyway, it was an extremely successful event, and we were thrilled. And I worked there, and I continued to serve as director of that program for 3 more years. And in that 3 years, we had similar miracles and blessings every year. We occasionally would have a business drop by with something like a $500 check, which meant a ton to us. That was 10 kids, you know? It meant a lot. We had a lot of blessings, and it was an amazing thing. Within no time, Walmart decided that they wanted a piece of the action, and we partnered with them. And they started sharing the Shop with the Cop responsibilities and benefits, and that too was a wonderful thing for those 2 retailers to link elbows to help kids in the community. But that was my first big foray, besides Secret Santa, which I have done every year of my life with my parents. That was my first big foray into charity work, and I have so many memories from Shop with the Cop that I will hold in my heart forever. As usual, my family showed up in spades to help out, and that's something that I've always been extremely grateful for, because I do have a good crew around me. But Shop with the Cop, pretty amazing, really amazing stuff. So that's a memory that came up for me today, because Saturday is Shop with the Cop. Kmart is gone. Kmart closed a couple of years ago. It's just Walmart now, but they're still doing it. They're still doing it. It's been more than 20 years, and they're still doing it, and they're still benefiting kids in the community, and I just couldn't be more proud of the fact that I was a part of starting it. So, pretty neat. Okay. My December reading special is a 20-minute time-based session. Really good way to get a reading. It's a great price. And that's a great way to just connect, to get everything that you need in one swoop. You guys are amazing showing up for me here. Okay. Again, I want you to post in the chat today what you want. What do you want? 3 things. Don't be shy. I want to know. We're talking about receiving. Okay, our crystal guidance today is yellow jasper. That, of course, comes from Christy. Yellow jasper supports joy, brings a sense of contentment and confidence. And then, of course, her Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck, her card of the week that she pulls for us is Archangel Uriel. Emotions, the primary message are emotions, looking for peace of mind, sacral chakra, and expressing how you feel. The challenge is feeling raw, pain, anxiety, and blocked. The crystal is carnelian. The meditation is, Dear Archangel Uriel, please surround me in your energy. Let it fill my soul like warm honey, bringing me peace and soothing my emotional pain. That's so beautiful, and such a useful one when you feel like nothing can possibly help make you feel better. Something can. Our animal guidance this month comes from Kai's Kaleidoscope. And she brings us the gorilla. And I loved it so much. I love Kai's articles. I've only said that a million times, but I loved what she said about gorilla. To offer his wisdom and compassion through a very fast-paced December. Read it. You'll want to start carrying on with a gorilla totem. I loved it. The tip this week is how to beat a sinus infection with essential oils. This is one of my favorite tricks. If I'm sick. Ugh. Let's not even talk about that, but you fill a mug halfway up with boiling water. And then you put 1 drop each, and seriously 1 drop, don't go crazy, of lemon, oregano, eucalyptus, frankincense, and tea tree essential oils. Don't do anything else, and don't do more. And then just hover your face over that and inhale deeply into your sinuses repeatedly. Don't burn yourself. Don't get it in your eyes. Just draw it into your sinuses. Repeat several times a day to decrease pain and inflammation. And that's also a good immune system boost. So I love that. That's one of my faves. Alrighty. Brittany's Divinity. Her article this week is called Fuzzy Navels. It's not about the drink. It's about so much more. I'm going to let you guys read on to learn a little bit more about it, but I loved what she had to say. Brittany brings us so much wisdom. And by the way, she was our guest this week on 1-2 News and shared with us that she is starting a new show. She's finally coming fully back. So you probably already know that she is a new producer at 1-2 Radio, but she's bringing her show back as well in January. So that's really exciting news. Next exciting thing is Elizabeth Lindsay popped in, brought us a guest article for, I think I'm going to let it run this month, honestly. This is her spiritual survival guide for the holidays. She said, AKA, shit you can use so you don't throw yourself in front of speeding traffic during the holidays. I absolutely loved what she had to say, and the artwork on that article is hers. She did such a beautiful job. And then at the very bottom of that, she dropped a tiny hint that there is something new coming from her. Too luminous in the new year. And that's all I'm allowed to say. But keep your eyes open because it's going to be amazing. All right, we have our Renaissance of Spirit by Dr. Elisa. She says, those who judge you harshly are speaking out of fear. Be brave enough to look inward and ask yourself if there is anything for you to learn. If not, reject the judgment and move on. Thank you. I love it. Again, be brave enough to look inward and ask yourself if there is something for you to learn. That's all. If there is, learn it and make an adjustment. If there's not, and this really isn't about you, and frankly, guys, so often other people's judgment and meanness, that's all it is. Walk away. I loved what she had to say. It's a great reminder. We're so quick to fall into a place of blaming ourselves and deciding that we have to be the wrong one, when you know what? It's just so frequent that you're not, and that whatever's going on with that person is their problem, not yours. Our Magic Monday message from Melissa. Today is a great day. Her postcard this week is so cute. I love it. I hope you guys take a look at it. And then, of course, Anita brings us the Sacred Mother Mary. Good timing, I think. We know her as the Mother of the Messiah, but she is also our mother in every sense. Beautiful little note about Mother Mary. So, this week, you can connect with the gorilla as an animal totem and Mother Mary as a guide and a goddess in your life. See, we've got all our bases covered. Really nice magazine this week. I appreciate all of my contributors so much. So I hope you get a chance to take a peek at it. And let's move on. Okay. Pardon me. I'm going to jump in the chat room here quick. You guys are awesome. I wasn't sure if I would have crickets or if you guys would actually show up for me. So you did. You're amazing. Good. Okay. So let's do our weekly reading and then we'll get into talking about receiving. All right. So we're going to read from my deck. This is the deck that I published with the Psychic Sisters nearly a year ago. We did this in January. Well, I worked really hard on it from October until Christmas when I gave it to them, and then obviously here we go with publishing it and going live with it right after the first of the year. So it's been nearly a year on this deck, and I love it. So this is a 5-part spread because of course we're looking at 4 different ways to care for your spirit, and then 1 boost card that just gives you a little extra something. All right, so I'm pulling the cards right now. The The only challenge is sometimes you pull duplicates. There we go. All right, sorry guys, we're almost there. All right, looking for a ground card. I've done this both ways with this deck. Sometimes I'll split it all up so that I've got, you know, every single component of it in its own little pile. And sometimes I don't, just shuffle it all together and just start pulling cards. And I actually usually find that to be really useful. There we go. Okay. So, all right, so the ground card this week is the rainbow card. And what that means is that grounding with the rainbow means that you ground with all of the different colors of the rainbow. So to do so, you would close your eyes and take a deep breath and imagine yourself standing at the end of a rainbow. You are the pot of gold, right? And allow all of those colors to pour over your head, all the way through your body, and deep into the earth, grounding you and anchoring you through color. It's a really fun meditation. It's fun to just feel all of the different colors move through you, all of their frequencies. It's pretty interesting. I hope that you guys take a minute and sit with it. Okay, the Bless card is water. We've talked about this a lot. Blessing water is so powerful. There's a whole lot of water on this planet. There's a whole lot of water in your bodies. And water is never really destroyed. It's just transmuted. It's just changed, just like energy is, right? And so blessing water, healing water, is a really powerful way to send blessings throughout the planet. For your own purposes, the card is hands wrapped around a glass of water, filling it up with light. And I highly recommend that you bless your water. I don't have to tell you guys, you know how many studies are out there about the changes in frequency of water, depending on the way we treat it, the way we talk to it, the way we bless it. So bless your water. But while you're at it, think about a body of water that is significant to you and bless that water too. What do you want to bless it with? Well, maybe you want to clear away impurities. Maybe you want to ask if we can remove any energetic imprint in that water that isn't helpful to you, that isn't beneficial to you, or isn't beneficial to the planet. Maybe we want to remove hate and bless this water with a high frequency of love, of compassion, of unconditional love, whatever. You decide. Think about it. What if you could write out a prescription to the world, something that you wanted them to take on a daily to help this world? What would it be? Well, do it with their water, because everybody's drinking a little. Right? Let's hope. All right. The protect card is burn sage. Sometimes the best way to protect your energy is to get rid of whatever is pulling you down. So, burn sage. This is always a good reminder to do a little clearing of your home or of yourself. Light up a little sage. Let that smoke move through you or move through your space, and take with it anything that doesn't belong there. Why sage? Because sage is an herb of purification. All right. The move card really makes me laugh. It's cycling. I don't think I'm going to ride my bike today. I don't know. It's 5 below. There's snow on the ground. Doesn't seem like a solid plan. But maybe some of you somewhere can do that. The point of the move card is to remind you to move in any way that you see fit. I'm not telling you to go run a 5K unless that's what you love to do. I am telling you to move your bodies, because some movement, I'm not saying you have to do a lot of movement. I'm not telling you to do anything except for that. Moving your body a little bit, even just some gentle stretching, will help to break up stuck energy in your body and help boost happy hormones in your brain. So I don't know about cycling today. I'll probably go to the pool, but do something. All right. And then the boost card is happy distractions. It says, you've got so much on your mind. This is a good time to distract yourself with something light. Read a great book, go to a funny movie, or do something else that you find fun and easy. Fun and easy, that's the key. We do a lot of complicated things, and occasionally we need something fun and easy. Okay, well that is the Ground Blessed Protected Move reading for the week. So now you have your orders. Let's move on to receiving. How hard is it for you to receive a gift, a compliment, a hand? How hard is it? Can you do it? Is it easy? What happens when somebody says, you look beautiful today? Can you say thank you? Or do you have to dull it down? Do you have to go, oh, thanks, and get weird? I bought this shirt for $1, or whatever. We're really weird about this. We suck at receiving compliments. It's something that I think you can really work on in the scope of the law of attraction. If you want to attract more abundance into your life, or more attention, or more whatever, then receive what you're getting with grace. And it takes some practice. I was horrible for a very long time at receiving compliments. I couldn't take one. I would have to downplay it in some way or reciprocate. That's another big one. You don't have to reciprocate. If someone pays you a compliment, thank them. That's it. You don't have to go, oh, thank you, your hair looks good too. Don't you dare do that. First of all, when you do, you kind of negate their comment. You do. It just takes away from their intention to compliment you because you had to balance the scales. Don't do it. Just say thank you. Also, don't downplay it. If somebody says they love your shoes, don't tell them that you bought them at a secondhand store for 50 cents. You don't have to do that. You just say, thank you, I love them too. That's it. It is a practice. But the more we can practice receiving compliments, we can also model that for our kids so that they can do better than us and not have to get all weird and awkward about it. But also we get better at giving them. I am always blown away when I'm with people who can just look at a stranger and say, hey, I love your purse. Or things along those lines. You have the most beautiful hair, stuff like that. That's really not been in my nature. And yet, what an incredible way, when you're sincere, to help boost somebody's day. You never know. Maybe they're having the worst day ever, and you shoot them a smile and tell them that you love something about them, or you love their darling baby and what a great mom they are, or whatever. Things like that matter a lot. And sometimes they shift somebody from a terrible place to a much better one. Sometimes they shift you from a mundane place to a much better one. So compliment freely, but receive compliments freely as well. And if you need to, have it worked out in your head. Be prepared and don't answer so quickly. That's part of the problem. When people compliment you, they take you off guard and you go, and that's a lot of times when the thing comes out, right? So take a breath, smile, give yourself a second to think, and then say, thank you. That's all. Practice it. I would love to hear what your experiences are with this, because I know it's a big one. All right, next step. How are you at receiving random help? When you're sick and someone says, I'd love to bring over dinner, do you say, we would appreciate that? Or do you say, oh, no, we've got it covered? Can you let someone be of service to you? Do you recognize that if you never let anyone serve you, you're taking away their opportunity to be a giver? Can you let someone else have that? I know that a lot of you can't or haven't been able to. You're givers. You don't like being takers, and you don't know how to receive. That's why we're having this little conversation. So, the next time somebody offers to do something kind for you, let them. Recognize that you allowing them to do something kind for you is giving them an opportunity to be in service of their fellow person. They're probably just emulating what you do for them. But you know what? That's a beautiful thing. And then you thank them graciously and you let it be. That doesn't mean that the next time they have a sniffle, you have to be over there with a pot of chicken noodle soup. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be tit for tat. We get way out of balance sometimes with giving and receiving. And particularly when someone gives to a light worker, an empath, somebody who's not used to receiving, they will jump into gear trying to even score. Don't do that. Just try not to. And then, since it is the season, what happens when someone asks you what you want for Christmas or for your birthday? Are you completely void of thought? Can you think of anything? Are you too bashful to say it or too empathic to say it? Here's what happens with the empaths. They won't tell somebody something they want because they're afraid they'll buy it. And if they do that, maybe that'll take away from them in some way. And they don't want to do that. And so the empath will frequently not say a thing or say nothing at all or anything is fine because they don't want to say it. But you know what? It is a lack of personal power. And that's why we're working on it. It's okay for you to have some ideas. It's okay for you to let people love you. So I asked you guys in the chat room to throw it out there. Tell me 3 things you want, or 3 things you need, 3 things that need to appear in your life. And you guys showed up. I'm excited. I wondered if this would put you on the spot, if it would be too hard, but actually, I'm really happy to see it. Oh, Jessica. Jessica said her favorite holiday cookie is a Russian tea cake. That is one of mine this year. That's one of the things I'm bringing to the table. They're my favorite too. So I'm curious, do you put a Hershey or a Kiss? Do you put chocolate in yours? Do you put a maraschino cherry in yours? An almond? Nothing at all? We always put chocolate in ours. Okay. There we go. All right. So I want to speak your wants aloud. I want to let you hear them. I want to let you feel them. And I want you to be good with it. All right. Elizabeth said a trip to Australia, a new fab job, and a Euro Trail trip to Spain, Portugal. Wow. Awesome. I hope you get all of those things. Jan said the next book in the Julia Blackwell Witch and Haunted House series, the DVDs for The Greatest Showman and Pride and Prejudice Zombies, and new writing breeches. I love that. Good job. And seriously, The Greatest Showman is the best in the world. Terry said, I want a remote start for my car. I want someone to buy the prime rib for Christmas dinner. I want a new pair of warm slippers. And I might just say, I hate asking for anything. Yep, I know. I know you do. And I know every one of you wanted to say, I would like world peace. I would like California to be in better shape. I would like people to not be suffering. And you guys, that's great. And you can have all of those wants. We have to have those wants because we have to keep working towards a better world. But it's also a good thing for you to have your own. You guys are doing really, really well here. I'm proud of you. Pamela said, the right job for me to move to the Oregon coast, enough money to possibly retire without worrying, and be able to donate to charities. She said one of my favorite cookies are Welsh cakes. I don't know what Welsh cakes are. I'm going to have to look that up. Thank you, Pamela. And by the way, and so it is on all of that. Julie said, rutilated quartz crystal. Ooh, Julie. Gold or black? Rudel, I mean the crystal's clear, but gold or black rudel, just curious. Blendtec blender, a shungite ball and or necklace. Ooh. This is a girl after my own heart. Pamela said, 3 things you can't buy. Health, time with good friends and family, and abundance. 3 things you can buy. I need a new laptop. I want a new TV for the living room. The old one went poof. And my house painted. Pamela, awesome. Jessica said, for Christmas, I want the book, The Trainable Cat. Is that a thing? To IKEA, Tarva dressers that I can make into nightstands with good storage for my little room, and a pair of warm, waterproof boots. Wonderful. Lynn said, I would like a gift certificate for a foot massage, tickets to a concert or play, and a maid service. Oh, amen. Ooh, tickets to a concert or a play. That sounds awesome. Really awesome. I really want to see Book of Mormon, the musical. I'm loving you guys' lists. I hope you're giving each other some ideas, by the way. Deb says, I want my share of the savings awarded to me in the divorce from last August. I want my blood pressure meds to return me to healthy balance. I want to reach an inner peace and joy when attending my daughter's Christmas wedding. Looking forward to 2019 as this grandma has been run over by a reindeer. Oh, sister, I know you have. So the Christmas wedding, so I'm assuming that the ex will be involved in this situation. Yeah. I can feel your stomach turn even when I said that out loud. Deb, when it gets closer, let's talk about it again. Let's put a lot of light and protection around you. Let's make sure that we throw as much support behind you as possible so that you can attend that with a carefree joy that needs no explaining. Okay? Okay. Brittany said I made her cry with my Kmart story. How often can we say someone cried because of a Kmart story? Really? I love you, Britt. Okay. Eva said, I already got myself for Christmas new bedroom furniture, booked a nice 6-day vacation. Now, is it okay to ask for a good husband? I think so. There's no limits here. We're asking for what we want and need. I think it's all good. Laura said, I want to get more organized so that I can do all of the glorious things I want to do. I want sweet, stress-free family time, a vacation to Hawaii or Italy or Costa Rica or all of those places, a massage or two, a good place to take Pilates classes, some nice-looking but comfy new tops and comfy but stylish shoes or boots, a new mattress, a new phone and computer because mine are struggling, sweet time with friends. Laura knows what she wants, man. Laura? And so it is. I love it. Okay. Pamela said, oh, on the compliment conversation, she said, I love complimenting strangers. It's easy and you don't know. You could be making someone's day. Who said strangers are just friends that we haven't met yet? Yeah, I don't know who said it, but it's true. That's awesome. All right, Deb said, this week my boss gifted me with a new pair of shoes. What an amazing gift. I fought the urge to decline, but thanked her sincerely. I could not reject her love for me. I value her and her generous heart. Deb, how sweet is that? And you know what? This year you have been through so much, and the fact that you have people around you that love you and care about you and are helping you to remember your worth, you deserve that. And I'm so happy you have that. Quelly said, I want to go see my daughter in DC, a new car, and more love in the world. And so it is. Rebecca wants a trip to Boston. All of you travelers. You're talking to a homebody. I should travel more. Kind of like staying home with my dogs. Kathy said, I would like my surgery to be successful, most of all. I would love a new puppy if it's the right one. Oh, Kathy, are you ready? Yeah, you're ready. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Wow. And I would love to get a deck of your oracle cards. Well, that can be arranged, my friend. What a sweet list. Okay, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what happens. Yes. And Sheila, I am one of those that gives compliments to total strangers. Awkward sometimes, always a surprise to that person, but I admit I like to do it. You never know when a kind word heals or brightens someone's day. You guys are awesome. I love that you put your lists out there. There are some things about being willing to speak up about what you need. And I know you just did it for me today because I bullied you into it, but you guys are great. And I love hearing your lists because, first of all, you get other people's wheels turning. It's good for us to collaborate on what we want, what we need in our lives. It's good for us to hear other people talking about things that they want and need. It's great to give. It's great to give. Oh, Rebecca said she wants a toaster oven. Oh, Rebecca. And so it is. But it's good to receive. It restores a little balance. It also gives you an opportunity to let someone else serve you or you serve you. One thing I want to challenge you all to do is to look through your lists and think about what can you do for you. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to tell somebody else what you want and need. But what can you do for you? What would you like to do for you? I promised you a few things on my own list, so I will tell you. One thing that Scott and I have gotten good at is I usually put some things in an Amazon wish list to give him some ideas. And a lot of times he'll do the same for me. I think that helps because maybe there's something rolling through his head that I haven't picked out yet, And for him, because I don't know. People claim I'm tough to buy for. I don't know about that, but it helps. I asked for a 23andMe kit this year. I really want to do my ancestry, and I wanted to do the one with the genetic, the health part, the health panel, because my sisters and I, as you guys know, have been mystery patients for a long time, and I wondered if this would help clear anything up. So that's one thing I asked for that I am really excited about. I asked for a new swimming suit. We go to the pool about 3 times a week, and the chlorine, isn't kind to suits. I also asked for a new bag, a new purse. My purse is many years old because that's kind of how I roll with purses, and I realized that it's probably time. So that's 3 things off of my list, things that I just need. They're not things I couldn't buy for myself, but it's okay to let someone else do that for me, right? It's okay. You guys, you did a good job for me today. Oh, Amy said, I want a new house and for my husband to find a new and better job. Good. And so it is on both. I know all of the real estate for you this year has been chaotic and beneficial, and all of those things kind of rolled up into one. But Amy, and so it is for you. Guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the end of the show. If you have not shared these lists with anybody besides me, please do so. Please let other people help take care of you. Please let other people know in your world what they can do to help you out. Don't be afraid to receive. So, I want to ask you to stay tuned. We have a lot more great radio to come. I want to remind you that I'll be over at 12listen.com for the rest of the day and evening. If you need anything, come over and see me and let's work on it. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow with the Psychic Sisters at 11 a.m. Pacific. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. Have a lovely rest of your week. You're listening to The Katie Weaver Show on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.